This school is really at the heart of the tradition of music making, and especially violin playing. You know, I grew up surrounded by Soviet teachers, Itzhak Rashkovsky, Felix Andreevsky, Grigory Ghislin, and Zachar Bron. And Zachar Bron was probably my most important influence, and you know, he's a graduate of this school. So in a sense, I'm coming back to where that began. Odessa, I said already, for me it was like a kind of a Mecca. It was the place I still wanted to go. And I'm very grateful to Odessa Classics and to Alexei that they invited me to give me this chance to smell the history. I feel when you come in here, you smell the history, you feel it. It's a mixture of fear and inspiration. My goal as a musician is to make music as honestly as I can, to be as honest with the score that you can, and to communicate a message. Because music is not just the notes on the page, music is reaching people and touching people. 3. David Bowie. We're talking musicians or composers here? I mean, performing musicians, or both? Well, of course, if I had to choose one composer, Beethoven, because for me, Beethoven, he's over everybody else. Maybe with Bach together, but there are so many different people that influence me. Ravi Shankar, Stefan Grappelli, Sting, but at the same time, my colleagues, Menachem Pressler, Yehudi Menuhin, you know, that's already 10, sorry, but this is the 1742 Guarneri del Gesù. It's called the ex-Lipinski, and Lipinski was one of the greatest virtuosos in the 19th century, great violinist from Poland. And in those days, they had battles, violinists against violinists. And Paganini, when he traveled around Europe, he would send a message to every town and say, the best violinist comes and we fight. And of course, Paganini always won. But one time he lost, and that was against Lipinski. Lipinski was the only violinist who beat him in a competition. And this destroyed their friendship, of course, because Paganini did not like to lose. And when they asked Paganini, who is the greatest violinist in the world, he said, I don't know, but the second greatest is Lipinski. I grew up surrounded by Russian teachers. The first criticism words I learned were in Russian, because my Russian teachers were telling me I was plokha, you know, and chista and all this stuff. So, you know, I grew up surrounded by this influence. So it was a great dream for me to play once in Moscow, to play in the Moscow Conservatorium, to play in Tchaikovsky Hall, to play in St. Petersburg Philharmonic. It was like a dream, actually. And all I can say is that when I'm there, when I play music there, I have the most amazing feeling from the audience. I have a feeling there that the audience, as many places in Eastern Europe, they respond to music in a different way. We don't have this feeling in Europe. In Europe, also the audiences are much older. I find here in the Ukraine, but also in Russia, you have young people coming to concerts. You have a different feeling in the hall. And so when I'm there, I feel a positive connection through the music. Politically, you know, I believe in freedom. And half of me is Irish, and the Irish have a long battle with freedom, a long battle with independence. And I think if people want to be independent, they should be independent. I think if they want to be free, they should be free. You know, I'm against building walls. I'm against wars.